After previously living on our own, me, my husband, and my toddler have moved in with my parents at the ripe age of 27 and 28, and it's been a unique situation and something to get used to. So let's talk about it. So yeah, it's been I think a couple months since we moved in, and it's been a transition. That's totally fine. That's to be expected. A lot of different things changing, and I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it. Just like give a little bit update because I do vlog like our everyday life with like me and my toddler. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I take care of her every day, and now we're at my parents' house. So yeah, I like to vlog those days, and you get to see those like happy times, how she's doing, how her progress is, and just like little fun things in between. Yeah, I just want to talk about wanted to chat with you while I had a moment to pull away. Right now my toddler's in the backyard playing with her tata, so I was like, okay, I have a moment, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about Marceline first. She's my toddler. She just turned 2, I guess technically 2 months ago, because now we're into December. I'm meaning to film this I think ever since October. It's just I haven't had a chance to like have a dedicated maybe like hour or couple hours where I could like set up a whole thing. Usually I have like lights and like a little like backdrop, and and I do my makeup, and it's like I have a whole like talking points on my laptop. Usually I do the whole thing, for these sit down videos with you. But I think it's just like one of those things that I've just been adjusted to. Living in a big house with 4 generations of people, it's a bit, and getting some time dedicated to film a sit down video is like few and far between. It's like very specific sort of stuff that I'd have to do. Plus, this is my room. This is my one room that I have in the house where there's a door, and this is mine, and here we are. And I got my little vanity now with all my pretty lights, so we're over here now. Yeah, starting off, let's talk about Marceline. How is she doing? She's been living with her grandparents and her parents and her great grandma, technically, here at the house. How's she been doing? She's been doing great. I like just to say it. I guess like the big change I've noticed in her is like I think she's talking a lot more. Like she's learned a lot more words over here at the house. You could say like, oh yeah, she's just growing. She's 2 now, while like I've lived with her from when she was 0, months to, to 2. So basically, so yeah, obviously she's gonna learn more words as she grows older, but like it's just been so rapid. I think because there's a lot more people in this house. Usually most of the day it's just me and her, and there's only so much that I talk to her, so much that I say, and I'm just one person with like one vocabulary sort of thing. And so here with all these different people, and then everybody says different things. Everybody has certain catchphrases that they tend to say more often, and she's just like catching up. She's just like a little sponge. Like I keep making jokes that she's like a parrot. Yeah, right. Like she just like mimics everybody's like little sayings and stuff, and it's like so adorable, so cute. So yeah, definitely like her vocabulary has definitely increased a whole bunch, which is just like awesome for her to learn and grow. She's getting a lot more like outside time. Like my parents actually have a backyard and a front yard as well, but like it's safer in the backyard to do some playtime with her, and she's just having a great old time. Back at the apartment, it was only like the really cooler days of the year. We're in Arizona, so it gets so hot during the summer that I would have her out on the patio a little bit, but like a patio is not a backyard. It's just not. That's like, yeah, you could still be a kid and live in the city and in an apartment and everything, like of course, but like it's so much different. And I think we moved over here at the perfect time that the weather was cooling down, and she's just like running around there, and it's just like so good for her. She is falling and scraping her knees like a whole bunch. Like she has like 2 scrapes on her knees like right now. But I mean that's just, it just happens. She's not like super getting hurt or anything crazy. Yeah, I love all the outside time that she's getting. You might think that her sleeping patterns might have changed because over here she has her own bedroom. As you see, this is my husband and I's room. Back at the apartment, we shared a bedroom because like, yeah, she was in the crib, it was just like, it felt like that was just what we wanted to do. So here she has her own room. We are right next door, so like we're like right there if she needs us or anything like that. And I feel like her sleeping habits are still really good. She always has been like I think on the good side of sleeping. I was like, some toddlers, some babies like really struggle to sleep, and I think she's not one of those. I think she's been doing really good. There's only been like small handful of days that she struggled to sleep, and we had to like comfort her and bring her over here into mom and dad's bed. But yeah, you think that the transition from being in her own bed would like really scare her or something, but no, she's been doing really good. Her eating habits have definitely changed. She's still eating plenty. I'm pretty sure she's a good size for how old she is and how tall she is. Like, the girl is tall. But yeah, she's definitely eating a lot more snacks. Over here, like, everybody is eating at their own pace. We got all these different people eating all their different snacks, and she wants them. So if it's something that she can have, people are giving her snacks. Like, if you made yourself a sandwich, she wants to come over and have a bite of it, and which is totally fine by me. I'm totally cool with her getting snacks here and there, but it was just something to get used to, because at the apartment I would sit her down in the high chair like 3 times a day, and I would give her a meal, and I didn't give her, like, it was like no pressure, like I don't want to give her a bunch of pressure to finish food that she doesn't want to eat. And I think that's like, and I hope that that's like doing really good stuff for her, and she's doing a really good job eating. But oh yeah, over here she's just eating more snacks, so it's like it was really something to get used to, and like it really threw me off. I was like, wait, like, how much is she eating? Like, if I sit her down in a chair and I give her a full meal, like, is she gonna touch it? Like, we all have to communicate with each other, like, how much we're feeding the baby. Which is totally fine. And then for sure, dinner time, most nights, we all sit together and eat a meal together. So she still has that, and then we're all sitting together, and it's not like all little teeny tiny little meals scattered throughout the day. So that's really good. I mean, that's how I grew up as well. Just like everybody reconnects with a meal. And so yeah, I think she's doing fine. She's a good size. She's definitely, pooping plenty, which, if she wasn't pooping enough, then, you had something to worry about. But no, she's doing fine. So that was the good. Let's talk about the bad. She still has, tough moments. But the good news is that with everybody here at the house, it is so much easier to snap her out of those tantrums, those bad moments. Of course, when it's just Christian and I, her dad, her parents, she must just feel like more comfortable with us, and she just tends to have, bigger, crazier tantrums when it's just us, as opposed to like her grandparents. Obviously, it can be hard for Christian and I to snap her out of a tantrum. She's just getting to the point where, I think she wants some sort of control. She wants to have some sort of power, like some choices. We ask her questions and we guide her to like what she wants to do. Like, does she want to do certain things, so it's not like we're telling her no all the time and controlling her everyday stuff. Like, I feel like we do a really good job of laying down the law, but also like, if she wants to do something, let's compromise and let's like do something, with that. She'll still act up a lot more when she's with her mom and dad. I guess that's to be expected. She's just like, we're her safe space, but the good thing about having my parents here is that they can snap her out of those moments like really well. Like, especially my dad, like he can like ask her a bunch of questions and try to change her mindset of, she's like so mad about whatever it is. She feels out of control. So my dad gives her a bunch of questions, and it sort of like slows down her brain a little bit. So she's like thinking about what he's asking of her, and like it really slows, the madness, the beast inside of her, it slows it down. The bad moments can be, extinguished. The flame of fury that's inside of her can be extinguished so much faster with like more people, a little bit of chaos. We just like bring in more people to the situation, and then it sort of like slows things down in her brain, and it's just like really good. Still, she's just having a lot of really bad moments, so it's not like we don't have any bad days. We definitely do, and I definitely struggle with them. Like, that's no question at all. But I am so grateful to have other people to, to deter her, so it's not just like me there, when she's having a bad day. That's the really good stuff. Alright, so let's talk about my husband and I. My husband and I did move back in with our parents. So how has that been? I guess the only bad thing is like, my husband has to commute a little bit farther. He works in Peoria, we're in Phoenix. So that kind of sucks for him. He's taking it like a champ though. I'm really grateful for him and stuff. One really good thing is that we're eating really well. Like my parents cook a lot more, and the food is just amazing. But yeah, overall we're just eating really well. Plus now that, we're not paying our crazy crazy Peoria rent, I feel more comfortable eating out and buying, you know, food, which is just like such a fun, you know, thing. It's always like, I always in the back of my mind is like, oh, we don't have the money to be spending money on food, you know, we can just like, there's always food at home sort of thing, and groceries and making it yourself, which is so much cheaper. I think after the holidays we'll see the money difference, because you know right now we're still in like the holidays, and we have something planned in the future that is going to be taking a big chunk out of our wallets. I guess that's a little hint. I guess you don't have to wait that long to see what I'm talking about there. So I think after the holidays, like January and stuff, we'll definitely be feeling the positives of moving in with my parents, you know, as opposed to like money specifically. I think our quality of life will be really, really good that way. Plus my husband and I do have our own bedroom now, so like we, you know, him and I can just like, you know, just spend some quality time in here, watch some TV, just the two of us, not having to worry about like the baby. And so that's really good. So I know when I first talked about moving over here, I was really like worried about privacy. Not worried, but like that was like, oh, like that's one of our sacrifices as we were going to have to do moving over here. And honestly, it's not been that bad. Like we do have, I think when I filmed that video or something like that, I think I didn't know that my husband and I were going to have, you know, the front room as our own room ourselves, but we do. So it's like our own little space over there, and we also get our bedroom, so it's not like we don't have anything. So yeah, that's been really good. Even though we have been here for quite a bit, we still haven't fully unpacked, I guess I would say, like fully settled in. I mean, in my defense, you're like, oh my gosh, Armida, it's been months, you know. I'm like, I know, but like in my defense, as soon as we moved over here, it was Halloween, which, you know, I love Halloween. I love it. It's like, and then it's like Marceline's birthday is all tied in with that, and then it's been Thanksgiving, and now it's going to be Christmas, and so that's a lot of decorations. That's a lot of boxes. That's a lot of trips to the storage unit, because I don't know if I said it, but like this house is the holiday house. So like my mom's whole family, they come over here for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for New Year's. Like this is the party house. All birthdays, they come here because this is like the party house. And so there's always been like there's just stuff, you know, just like the decorations. We were moving the tables around, you know, it's like there's always like stuff, because we have some boxes still from the move that I think I brought them. I sent them to be over here at the house, hoping that they would have a place, and it's looking like we're not going to be able to put everything that I thought we could put in the house here, and that there's going to be more stuff having to be put in the storage unit. Plus with the move is a little chaotic, so some of the movers accidentally left some like stuff that was supposed to go into the storage unit. They accidentally like brought it here, like our kitchen chairs, you know, like I never wanted those to be here. Like there was no chance that those were gonna go over here, but it was just one of the first things that they grabbed, and then it just ended up showing up over here. So I was like, okay, that's another thing we have to deal with, is bringing that over to the storage unit, which right now is like every time we go to the storage unit, we're putting the Halloween away, taking the Christmas out, you know, looking for Thanksgiving. Whew. So it's a lot of stuff. I wish we were more settled in. And so that's the thing about this being the party house, is that people come and they see that we're not completely settled and stuff is like still kind of a mess, and then like I feel a little judged. You know, I'm like hey, like we imagine we brought too much stuff over to the house thinking that it was gonna have a place, but there's no place for the stuff. So it's like, okay, we either need to buy bins or drawers to put it in, but you know, that's even more money. So I'm like, what? And we just got the closet all done, so I have to put stuff in the closet, you know, and have that be a place. But also, like, what if I buy more clothes? I don't know. It's just stuff. There's just stuff everywhere that doesn't have a place. And I wish we were more settled in, but I'm using the holidays as an excuse. So I guess by January, like if this place is still a mess by like February, you know, that's on me. Because it feels like, you know, you work every day, and there's always clothes to be washed, there's always food to be made and prepared, little things every day that need to be done, and then there feels like there's no room for anything else. And then on my free time, I want to edit these videos. So it's like, I'm just like, I feel like I can't get anything outside of that normal everyday things done. Okay, that was a little tangent. I just wish we were more settled in here. It's December. And how have the cats been doing? You might be asking yourselves. They're doing fine. I think when we first moved over here, I was just waiting for something to go wrong. I was just waiting for them to get their little, to get into something and destroy something and it'd be a disaster, but they really haven't. I think maybe they're like just not as curious as I thought they were going to be. I don't know. When we first adopted them and they were kittens, those little grubbers were grubbing, just getting to everything. They were, and it was a nuisance. We were being terrorized every day. So I was thinking that the same thing or something similar is gonna happen over here. We're gonna move over here, new house, new things for them to get into, and they were gonna get into things and destroy things, and just like, terrorize the place. But no, they really have been really good. Knock on wood. Am I gonna jinx myself? No, they've been really good. And yeah, they do just fine with Jake. We got Jake, our senior dog, here. And yeah, they're doing just fine. Like, Jake doesn't even, like, know that they're there. Like, there's little black shadows that just walk around the place sometimes. Just, it's so funny. But no, they're doing just fine. Eating fine. Oh, we did have to downsize them to just one litter box. Which, I mean, like, cat parents don't come for me. But, like, I could not figure out a place to put where we could put a second litter box. Of course, it's in the laundry room. Their one litter box, yeah, lock me up, put me behind bars. Their one litter box is in the laundry room, which is, like, one of the things they don't say to do. But they've honestly been fine. I mean, it does get a little messy, in their one litter box. But, I mean, that's to be expected. It's just kind of like, it's like their toilet. So if you think about it as their one toilet that they're sharing, yeah, we gotta clean it, more often than we did with two. It's such a tiny space, and I'm like, okay, just gotta vacuum this, like, every day, every other day, and it's honestly not been that bad. They're eating fine. They haven't really gotten into anything. I think unless it's, like, meat, or maybe, I'm, like, beef, pork, chicken, fish, or maybe cheese, I don't think they're really getting into stuff, like bread, candy. But no, they've been really good. They do have their own little hidey holes that they hide to. That's no surprise. These kitties will just hide and take a nap any dang place that they wish to. It was just like, yeah, totally normal. They love looking out all the windows. We got, 4 sides of the house. They love looking out through all the sides, the front yard, the backyard. Oh, if anything, speaking of that, Coffee, our black cat, it's like he's showing interest that he wants to walk around outside. Like, he'll, like, linger around the front and the back door. He'll look out those windows. Like, we have, like, a screen door there and stuff. And so, honestly, Christian and I are thinking about maybe getting him a harness and a leash. I don't know, that might be too much. Some people are telling me I should get him like a stroller, like a little kitty stroller with like a netting in it, so that we can take him for walks and he can look around. That might be more comfortable for him than like a leash, but like a leash is obviously the cheaper option. So I'm just really surprised because at the apartment, I guess the apartment might have been too loud. We're by a really busy street, so maybe he didn't want to walk around the patio, but like he might stick his head out the window, like try or attempt to, but that's about it. Like, he wasn't like wanting to get out on the patio and walk around or like trying to escape through the front door of the apartment. So this is new behavior. Maybe stay tuned for that while I take Coffee out for a walk. Can you guys imagine my scared little Coffee bean? Oh my gosh. Oh, and everybody's like acting around the cat like cat's just fine. I think it took a little bit, but I think everybody can distinguish the two cats from each other. Like, if it's daytime and you see one of the cats, it's probably Coffee. He's the bigger black cat, and then Bailey's the little torty cat, the skittish one. But in the dark, they look the same. So everybody's like, I think, distinguishing the two cats from each other, which is really cute. I think the only problem we might have had was like, sometimes when we have parties, like Thanksgiving, birthdays and stuff, my Nana will bring her dog, who is like a Chihuahua, like a white Chihuahua. Her name is Purdy, and apparently she hates cats. So yeah, she'll bring Purdy out, and like usually the kitties like hide away when we have parties, and then they come out when everybody's gone, and they're totally fine. They're not like, it's not like they like don't eat or anything, and we should be really worried about them. No, trust me, they're fine. But there's like one of those days because my nana will stay later at a party than I think most because like she lives fairly close. So yeah, they were still here at the party, but most people had left, and Purdy's walking around. So then the cats start coming out of their hidey holes, thinking that, okay, it's quieted it down, I can come out now. And like she saw one of the cats, probably Coffee, and just like started going crazy. So I was like, oh, Purdy doesn't like cats? Like, when were you gonna say that? I think I had an idea because Nana's house gets a lot of stray cats, walking around sometimes. So, like, Purdy might see them from her window and, like, like, freak out or whatever. Now, when we have parties, we kind of have to, like, try to lock Purdy away from the cats. I don't think they're any, like, serious danger, but Purdy can, like, freak out. She can, like, if you touch her the wrong way, she will let you know, and she's one of those like chihuahuas like that was terrible, but you know what I mean, like you know a chihuahua, like crazy chihuahua bark, and that's Purdy can definitely let out one of those whenever she does not like something. So we'll have to keep our eye on that, but that should be just for those parties which there's like a bunch of people that can like save the situation. Okay, well, speaking of the animals, there is Jake. I think I've mentioned him every once in a while, but yeah, I think he's at least 16 years old, beagle. So I think in dog years, I think he's like in his 90s, maybe mid 90s, I think by now, and he definitely looks it. Yeah, so he's got a diaper. He cannot control when he pees or poops. Yeah, he's mostly white by this point, and he's skin and bones. He is just so skinny, but he really doesn't want to eat all that much. But he's still kicking. Like, he's still, like, he'll follow all of us around the house. He'll still bark at people walking across the street. He's just, like, a little bit slower than when he was, like, a puppy. So, he's still kicking. He is still kicking. It's just very odd to be. I am 27 years old. We adopted him in like 2009. I think I was 13, or maybe I just turned 13 or something like that. Very formative years. And here I am getting close to 30, and Jake is still kicking, and I'm back in the house with my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, and my childhood dog is still alive. Like, just imagine. Like, I have like mourned this dog in my mind. Just like, I'm like, any day now, like he could, hit the bucket, cross that rainbow bridge. But no, he's still kicking. He's still kicking. There was even a couple days over here that he like, threw up some stomach acid because he wasn't eating all that much. But he was getting nauseous because he gets really bad allergies. He's sneezing everywhere. And he sneezes so hard. He gives himself, what do you call it? Vertigo. He sneezes so hard, he gives himself vertigo, and he gets nauseous and throws up. That's Jake. He's just here. It's like he's the same dog, but he's not. Like, this is not the same dog from 2009 that like a bucket of energy, just like running everywhere, barking at everything. A doorbell rings on the TV, and he's like, like that was him. And here he is, just real slow and sneezing and peeing and pooping everywhere every day. Every day, he is peeing and pooping everywhere. So it's just like, oh my goodness, he's so high maintenance, and for a dog, I guess to be expected when they're that old, but yeah. So that's Jake. But I guess moving over from Jake, this house also is a 4-generation house. I really haven't talked about all that much because like I don't really want to show her. Nothing I can do. But my Nana Jessie does also live here. She is my stepdad Ed's mom. She, I think, will be turning 91 in a couple weeks, which is just awesome. The thing is, we're pretty sure she has some sort of memory, I wasn't gonna say memory loss, but like memory problem, memory issue, kind of like dementia. not really like Alzheimer's, but like dementia, we think. I think just to put it in perspective, it's almost like the last 20 years of her life just went like poof, or they're just gone. Yeah, the last 20 years just have just vanished. She's lived here with my mom and dad for, we think, about 10 years. That would be my guess. Yeah, she's been here quite a long time, but she recognizes my dad, so that's good. She knows that my dad is her son, Ed, Edward. But she thinks that she's visiting him at his house, even though she's lived here for 10 years. She'll ask about the house that she had 20 years ago in a whole different city, but she's technically lived in like another house in between that, so she's asking about a house like 2 houses ago that she's lived at. Like I said, it's like the last 20 years just went poof. And yeah, but she knows who my dad is. She's not a very angry person, but like, she's 90. She can't really move around all that much. Whenever she does like leave the house and go visit her sisters or something, she comes back even more confused. She's asking a lot of questions. Just a little bit tricky. The good thing is with Marceline, I think Marceline is a really good influence on her influence. That sounds weird. But I think seeing Marceline every day, just like a little bit, like I think it's just helping her, just like, just be a happier person, because she does get confused a whole lot. And so she just sees this little girl, this little kid. She's not really talking, she's not like saying a whole bunch of stuff, but they'll like go and they'll share a snack together, and I think it's just really good for them and for Marceline too, just to have somebody else to interact with in the house. And she's like so excited to see Nana Jessie and stuff, which is so cute. Nana Jessie doesn't know who she is. Like, she doesn't know that Marceline is my dad's granddaughter. The other day she asked, I think a couple weeks ago, she asked if my dad adopted her. Even though she's like my kid. I don't know. That's just like, I'm telling you these things so that you can have an understanding of, where her mind is, where she is. She's 90. She can't really move all around all that much, and her brain is just starting to go. And I say starting, but I think there have been signs for a bit. My parents, take care of her every day, so that's the sort of thing. Like even today there was a little issue, and so unless I say it, Nana Jessie is here, and she, doesn't really do all that much, and she doesn't know who I am. And so I think, me interacting with her too much would really confuse her, and I think it's just solidifying that she thinks that she's visiting, my dad, and she doesn't know who I am. I mean, which is fine. I think in the span of her memory, I am rather recent, so we're just happy that she's here. So how am I doing? Overall, I'm doing really well. Yeah, like I said, this is just something to adjust to. I think one thing about the house specifically is that when my parents do leave, like they have an errand to run, they have to do something, it does feel weird that I'm in charge of the house. Like, this is their house, but when they leave, I'm, on the hierarchy. I'm next. There's Nana Jessie, there's Jake, the baby, and the cats. So if anything goes wrong, it's on me. There's one of those days. Jake was peeing and pooping everywhere, and Marceline was like yelling, and I was trying to get her not to touch the pee and poop, but I don't want her to be too loud to wake up Nana Jessie, because if Nana Jessie doesn't get her sleep, then her memory is bad. So in the mornings, when it's just me and the baby, I try to make sure that she's not too loud so that Nana Jessie can sleep. But then if Jake's peeing and pooping, so I gotta clean it, and I'm kicking him out of the house, but then he's barking. It's just like all these things. So I am still, in charge, whenever my parents aren't here, and I am like, yeah, I'm next on the hierarchy, even with Christian, if Christian's like home from work, he's under me, because like I've lived here. So, and I'm the mom, so he's like under me, and then, boom, 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 so on and so forth. So yeah, that's something to get used to. Cause like when I was a kid growing up, like I was very low on the totem pole, here at this house. But because I have all the experience of the house and I'm an adult and stuff, I'm like very high on the totem pole now. So it's like, oh, something to get used to. So it's like I still have to do like my tasks that I do, or I still have to do a lot of things, but we have more people in the house to entertain Marceline, to hang out with her so that she could follow them around and sort of thing, while I can go like do my thing somewhere else, like film this video, for example. So like I still, I'm changing the diapers, the poopy diapers, the pee diapers, that's me. I am, setting her table. I am making her food, her meals. Like I'm putting all that together. Like I'm changing her. It's like if she makes a mess, I'm, cleaning it up. It's like all these things. And with the cats too, I think Christian is also in charge of a lot of the cats things. When he's here, obviously he's helping me out with the baby, with the changing diapers and the food and stuff. Everything I just said. But I'm talking as if Christian's at work, because he has a job. And then same thing with the cats. I'm feeding the cats. Christian changes out their litter box. If something's wrong with the cats, I'm there and I'm doing something with the cats. We all like help each other out like a little bit that way. Like I said, if my parents are gone and Jake is like, peeing and pooping everywhere, I'm cleaning it up. I'm not gonna just like leave it, all throughout the house and then waiting for them to come and them to clean it. Like, no, I'm cleaning it. Like, no question. Like, it's fine. I think stuff with Jessie gets a little, like, questionable because, like, she doesn't really know who I am, so I don't feel the responsibility. Like, Jessie's not on my list of people I take care of. Does that make sense? So, like, my dad is first and foremost taking care of Jessie. He's feeding her. He's, making sure she's getting bathed and all that stuff. That's, like, my dad's job. And my mom is sort of, like, watching over all of us, My mom is, like, in charge of the schedule and the payments. And, her and my dad will figure out food and plans, So everybody got their own job to do. Like I said, with Christian, he's the one going off to work. And when he gets here, he helps me with the baby. And he helps with the cats, like primarily. There, is that it? I don't know. I've been talking for a long time at this point, so I'm bound to get my words mixed up. We have all that. Did have a bad couple days around Thanksgiving. I'm not really gonna get too into it because it's resolved and I feel a lot better. But I did have a bad couple days because Marceline was having a bad couple days, so therefore I did, and then it just sort of just like snowballed into something really big. But I'm good now. As long as we all communicate with each other, everybody in the house, I think we'll be fine. I think overall we'll all be good. It'll just be awesome. And I think it is. Yeah, I think this was a good time to film this video because like I said, I had a bad couple days at the end of November. So I've come, full circle from that. So I get to have a good mindset about all this stuff. And it's been enough time that I can like give an update. Enough stuff has happened that I've filmed like quite a few vlogs, but I just haven't really like chatted all that much about it. Overall, really good. I'm really glad that we did this, that we moved over here, because like first and foremost, like Marceline is thriving. She really is. Like she is having a great time living here with her grandparents, and she still, gets me, her dad, still sees, my husband's side of the family, Renee, my mother-in-law still comes over here. It's just great. It's like she is thriving. She's getting all of the things. Thank you so much for listening. This is basically just like kind of like an update on how stuff has been here at the house. Yeah, if you have any questions about, living with your parents and, being in a 4-generation household, please let me know. Like, leave a comment and like this video if you enjoyed it. And to subscribe for more madness with me and my toddler. And I'll see you next time. Bye.